Since coming back to Colorado, mornings have really slowed down. It's been cold out, which means I haven't been able to keep water in the camper, and I'm doing everything by hand, including fetching water from the river. In the past, I probably would have complained about this or considered it an inconvenience worth leaving the state for, but lately it's felt really nice to have this time to myself, to go slow, and to start my day off without a rush. So today is a really exciting day, also slightly nerve-wracking, because I'm not only going to be completely off grid without running water because of how cold it's been in Colorado, but it's also the beginning of a pantry challenge that I've been wanting to do for a long time. But if I'm being honest, I've been a little bit nervous to do, which feels very silly. I'm so grateful and so lucky to have the amount of food that I have in the camper, but it's kind of gotten out of hand. It's going to be interesting because I'm also starting this while pretty off grid. I don't have running water right now because it's been too cold in Colorado and all of the taps have been turned off, but we are camping next to a river. So today, the first thing I need to do is go and harvest some river water so that way I can filter it and have drinking water, cooking water, water for Tara throughout the day and the next couple of days. Being off-grid and next to a gorgeous river in the middle of the mountains like this, I'm sure a lot of you are wondering why I have to filter the water. And this is something that's not only important for living full-time, but even if you're out on a hike, it's really important to bring a filter with you because you truly never know the quality of the water that you're drinking or what might have washed into it, like road runoff or maybe even chemicals from a nearby industry or plant. Regardless, it's always better to be safe than sorry, and I'm super glad that I have this bag with me for emergency situations like this. So now that the weather is getting warmer again, I decided to start my sourdough up again, my sourdough starter. And unfortunately, I had given the one that I was using last winter to my mom. So she has that on the road now, which I'm very excited for her about. But that means I needed to make my own. So I just started this 3 days ago. It's definitely been pretty cold, but there are a couple bubbles and I can smell the yeast beginning. I'm thinking it's probably going to take like 6 to 8 days to have this ready, but it's all in preparation to start making sourdough and sourdough discard things from scratch. Becky, sit. Tara, sit. Okay. Good girl. Why'd you go lay on your bed? No, the dirt's better? Good morning. It has been a slow start. It's getting chilly again and it's always so hard to get out of bed. I didn't get out of bed until like 8 this morning, which is much later than I normally do. I've been trying to watch sunrise every day and that definitely did not happen this morning, but that's all right. We've already gotten some stuff done. I have a pretty long to-do list today of things that I want to get done before leaving this area and heading further north where it's going to be a lot colder. Number 1 is probably going to be water. 2 is going to be just cleaning and tidying up and preparing to be in the higher mountains where I'm not going to as easily be able to do certain things like dump my toilet or my gray or just manage the interior of the van because I'm going to have a lot more stuff in here. And in addition to that, also hopefully get some work done. So that way this weekend I can focus on my friends. It's one of their birthdays and I'm really excited to go celebrate with her. And I don't want to be thinking about work while I'm there. Even though I had big plans for this day, the wind and weather thought different. And so I spent most of the morning setting up for the pantry challenge, which I'll talk about more in upcoming videos, but essentially just took inventory of everything that I had before settling in for work for the day. An unexpected side effect of this challenge, the pantry challenge, that I'm already noticing is I'm craving sugar right now. And I think that's because I've dramatically cut down the amount of sugar in my diet in the last 2 days of just eating strictly from the pantry. I'm not going out for a sweet treat. I'm not going out for beer and having those added carbohydrates. And I can definitely tell my body is feeling some of the symptoms of what I would think like a detox is, just like that really strong craving for a sweet treat at the end of the day or after a savory meal. And it's not that I'm looking to cut that out entirely, but it's just really cool to notice that happening in my body and know that this challenge is probably going to do good, not only for the amount of food that I'm carrying around and my wallet, but my body as well. Wanna go outside? last night, and for the past couple of nights actually, Tara's been having a really hard time sleeping through the night. Every 45 minutes to an hour, we're getting up and going to the bathroom. And I'm not really sure what's going on. Something must really be upsetting her stomach, but nothing's changed. So we're just going back to a super bland diet until hopefully she starts to feel better, and then I can start to work things back in to figure out what it might be. Going outside like that every night would not be that big of a deal if it wasn't 5 degrees and blowing snow sideways. We weren't supposed to get any snow at all the rest of the season, but every time they say that, more snow shows up in the forecast, and it looks like we're about to get some more tonight. Situations like this are always tough because you don't want to make a mistake and end up in a situation that's worse than you are. But gratefully for now, the camper is doing its job. It's nice and warm in here. It's almost 50, which with a jacket and a warm cup of coffee is just fine. So on that note, it's been 48 hours off grid. It's probably going to be another 48 or 72 or longer before we head back to civilization. But I hope that you all enjoyed this week's video, and until next time, have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next Thursday. Actually, we have a Thursday video coming out. Bye.